What's up, guys? Ryan here, and doing another Think, Learn, and Be Vulnerable vlog. And today I kind of want to talk about geocentrism and how a belief in the Earth being the center of the universe is indicative of other thought processes and what they actually mean. So, kind of a weird topic, but it's been on my mind a lot. A while ago, I watched a lot of flat Earth YouTube videos, and it fucked up my algorithm, so I kept getting videos from flat Earth, and they basically make the same 5 or 6 arguments, and they're all pretty dumb, and they're all just, hey, guess what? If we misapply science, we're right. And the geocentrists do sort of the same thing, where like the very idea, if the Earth was in the center of the universe, the sun would have to be going around it like incredibly fast, so fast to the point to where we could like measure it pretty easily. And there's like definitely a lot of tests that you could do, um, that would show how like the Earth is actually going around the sun. It's just from our perspective, it doesn't look like that. But we've known this for centuries. This is not like new information, but the movement is relatively new. And it was one of those things, much like vaccines, where it's just like we all accept this as fact. Why is this no longer being accepted as fact, as irrefutable? Vaccines, okay, right? Like people's fears, I get it. And there were some things in older vaccines that aren't there anymore that were connected to things that were dangerous. So I understand the fear, right? I get it. What's the fear in the Earth going around the sun? Like, who benefits from that? Right? With vaccines, okay, I get it, right? Medical companies are trying to sell their vaccines. Sure. Okay. Even though vaccines honestly don't make a lot of profit, but aside from the COVID one, but even that, is a public service and it's being government funded. So they're kind of capped on how much money they're going to make. Um, so it's weird. It's just like nobody benefits from the Earth being something that goes around the sun, right? Like, where's the gain from it? Like, even a flat Earth kind of makes sense because maybe there's companies that make globes. I don't know. Maybe there's some scientists out there whose like livelihoods apply to the Earth being round. But the Earth being in the center of the universe versus the sun, it doesn't fucking matter. Like nobody benefits one way or the other. So why are there so many groups, and especially hardcore traditional Catholic, traditional Christian groups out there trying to say that the Earth is in the center of the universe? Why is that so important? Why does it even matter? And I started thinking about it, and I looked into it a little bit more, and it actually started to make sense because the big thing that a lot of people that believe in geocentrism, they also believe in religion, and they're very much believers in sort of divine providence. And the idea that humans were created in God's image and that we're special. And so the Earth being in the center of the universe is actually a larger indicator of God being in control of the universe. And it is through his decisions and his divine plan that the universe is the way it is. And if that's true, humanity is significant. We are significant. God, our God, the God that we believe in and given our whole lives to, is very significant and is supreme. And so then that means that we are the chosen people. And the people that believe in this God and this perfection in his perfect design are the ones that are blessed and should be in charge. But if that's not the case, your entire belief system goes down the toilet. It shatters your whole worldview. It shatters everything that you have attached to. And if you've watched any of my vlogs before this, I talk about that a lot, about the idea of world-shattering events. And I don't mean like the world, I mean your world. I talk about how there's a lot of things that I could lay my hat on and say, this will always be there, this will always be true, and they weren't. That fear is huge. That fear is real. The fear of losing one's place in the world, in your own world. The fear of losing that which had always been true. Honestly, I think this actually speaks to so many of the issues that we're currently facing with, racial injustice and not wanting to help out poor people and not wanting to help out marginalized groups and not wanting to acknowledge that, trans people, for instance, are people too and deserve rights and don't deserve to be discriminated against. Like, it all kind of intertwines, because if God made the world the way, these people say it is, if the earth is the center of the universe and we are significant, then we are his chosen few, and we deserve to be above all these other groups that don't believe. Hence, reaffirming the worldview that they've always had. It's not true. The earth is not significant. It is a flying speck in an infinitely huge universe, far bigger than we could even possibly conceive. There are billions of planets out there. We are not the only one that has life. Not only do I think aliens exist, I think there are plenty of planets that are far more advanced than we are, far more intelligent than we are. Just haven't reached them yet, So think, learn, and be vulnerable. Well, you need to think about traditions. Think about the way things have always been. And realize, are you the one benefiting from it, or are you the one being hurt by it? And whichever is the case, try to help out the people that are being hurt by it. We need to learn that the things that we have learned, maybe they're only that way because of tradition. Maybe they're only that way because we got there on the backs of other groups that have been more oppressed. And maybe we were part of the people that were doing that. In terms of being vulnerable, we need to look at ourselves and go, shit, I'm part of the problem. I've been thinking that I'm special and I'm divine and I'm part of a chosen group. And I'm not. I'm just a fucking human being. We're all fucking human beings. We're all sacks of meat on a big swirling rock going around a big giant fireball. That's all it is. We're not divine. We're not special. And we only get a short amount of time on this planet. So stop fucking making it harder for everybody else. Stop thinking you're so good. Stop bending your entire world view around something that's just not fucking true. I don't know if God exists or not. Probably does. Probably some sort of God does exist. But does that God have dominion over the entire universe? And if so, fuck. The design is beautiful and very chaotic. I don't know his plan, but I do know that the earth still goes around the sun. That's just the way it is. And there is beauty in that. And that doesn't mean that you are not significant or special. You are. You're just not as significant and special as you think you are. And you absolutely do not have the right to put down, oppress, demonize, or dehumanize any of your fellow human beings just because they do not believe what you believe. You are not chosen. You are choosing to believe something else. It doesn't make you better. I mean, didn't Jesus say, love thy neighbor? He didn't say, love thy neighbor as long as they believe in me. You're not special. None of you are. Not that way. Not in the way that you think you are. You're special because you are unique. There's only one you out there. There's only one confluence of events that could possibly create the human being that you are. Revel in that. Revel in that part of God's plan. You don't have to be one of the chosen few because you're the chosen you. That is very significant and very special.